Get ready. Helena Hustle is now live. Here, we will showcase successful leaders in business, athletics, healthcare, and all things that make Helena a great place to live. Join Dr. Daniel Bridge, owner of Endurance Chiropractic, as he searches out amazing individuals who are making a tremendous difference in this place we call home. So sit back, relax, and get ready to be inspired with the Helena Hustle podcast.
Welcome to the Helena Hustle podcast. I'm so excited this morning. I'm here with Mary Tripp, owner of Platinum Salon. Mary, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Absolutely. So to give you a little background, when I moved to Helena, I was looking for someone to do my hair. And I've had good experiences in the past and bad experiences just like anybody else. And what are the chances that right next door to where my office is that there would be a hairstylist that could do my hair really well? So I went over and Mary just hit a home run. And ever since then, I've been really happy with the way she's done my hair. So Mary, how long have you been in business?
Yeah, so I've been doing hair for 13 years last October.
Wow.
And I've owned the salon for almost 7 years in April. So
how old were you when you bought the salon?
Oh my goodness. I was, I have to do some math. Was I 23?
23.
Yeah.
That had to have been scary.
It was very scary. Yeah. Yep. And I didn't have anybody in my life that was negative on it. They were very positive in my life. So I had a hard time getting a loan, and by the grace of God, somebody came in my life and said, "Hey, I'll give you a loan."
Awesome.
And here we are. So I think it was just meant to be after that conversation, and it's going great. It's an awesome industry to be in. So
you run a great salon. Everybody's cheerful over there. Great customer service, and then a great product that you guys provide. So thank you first and foremost.
Absolutely.
You're involved in a lot of different things, and I want to get into that. But tell me, I know you're involved with a charity organization. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm so excited. I'm part of an organization called Montana Youth Diabetes Alliance. It's MIDA for short.
MIDA.
And we kind of focus in on kids with type 1 diabetes in the state of Montana, ages 8 to 17. And we run a children's camp up in Flathead Lake. And we also, within our organization, just started a family retreat that will be a yearly retreat up at over at Fairmont.
Wow, that's
and then
awesome.
We also, with our organization, have a sum of money that we give towards families for their out-of-pocket expenses.
Okay.
And it's up to $600 per family per year.
Nice.
So we're trying to double that cost this year up to $20,000. So
fantastic.
Pretty excited, yeah.
What made you decide to get involved with MIDA?
Yeah, so I have had diabetes type 1 for almost 27 years. And camp was just a huge influence in my life when I was younger.
Was MIDA around when you were younger?
MIDA was not around,
okay,
no.
But you went to a camp.
Yep, I went to a private camp. Actually, that one was in Idaho at the time. And then kind of fast forward, I got involved with American Diabetes Association, who had a camp over outside of Fishtail. And when COVID hit, we were no longer, ADA said no more camp in Montana.
Oh, shoot.
So it was kind of devastating. I have 2 younger cousins that attended that camp that got me involved with it.
Oh. And
my friend said, "Hey, I want to start a nonprofit. I want to do a diabetes camp." And I was like, "You're crazy, but I'm in." So we just...
so you were involved with the formation of everything.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
I'm on the board. It's been very impactful in my life. Diabetes is an everyday... Some people call it a struggle, but I find it to be a blessing because of all the people that have come in my life over the years, and
it's
just
given
be
you
a better person.
Some commonality and way to connect with people that you wouldn't have otherwise crossed paths with.
Yeah. Yep.
Great. Let's take a step back. Mary Tripp, let's get to know you a little bit better. So I don't know these answers, but I prepared you. So I want you to tell me 2 truths and 1 lie about yourself, and I'm going to try to guess the lie.
Okay, so I'm a 5th generation family business owner of Montana. I've hit 3 deer with my car in my life of driving. And when I was 8 years old, I peed on stage at the Helena Middle School at a talent show that I was at.
Oh, okay. I can't wait to hear about all of these. But that sounds too specific to have been a lie. So you're either really good at this, but I'm going to say you've hit 4 deer in your life, and that's the lie.
That is not that's it. But I've never hit a deer in my
You've
life.
Never hit a deer. Congratulations.
Being in Montana. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself for that.
So I picked the right one, but I went the wrong direction. I should have gone with 0.
Yeah, and
So,
knock on wood.
Yeah, seriously. Shouldn't have brought that up, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So let's start with the businesses. Tell
Yeah.
me 5 generations. That's impressive. All in Montana, you said.
Yep. I actually thought I was a 4th generation until last night. I had to clarify. And
Okay.
a great grandpa of mine owned a construction company.
Wow.
And then my grandpa and his wife owned, actually it was my great grandpa, owned Bud and Zona's bar out in the Canyon Ferry area.
Okay.
And another set of grandparents owned the Exchange Club out in Montana City, which is now the Montana Club, I think what is it out there?
I'm not sure.
Montana City Grill, sorry.
Okay.
And then my dad owns a construction company, and I own a hair salon.
Wow.
So did I get all those right? Yeah.
You didn't have much of a choice. Entrepreneurship, business ownership, it was in your DNA.
I think so, yeah. I'm pretty proud to say that.
And have any of those people been mentors for you as far as getting things organized and set up how you wanted to with your business, Platinum Hair Salon? Is it Platinum Salon? What is your business called?
Yep, Platinum Salon.
Platinum Salon.
Yeah, I think there's a couple people in my family. My father, of course, has always been an influence, and my mom. My mom was a contractor for many years doing concrete. So just learning from them growing up, you kind of just get the trade of owning a business and the struggles and challenges that go through with it. But customer service is one of the biggest things in any business, and I think that they have strongly influenced me on that
Absolutely.
aspect.
Yeah.
And then another gal that I
Hold
bought.
on. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't want to move on too quick from the
'Kay.
customer service aspect. So that's something that's super important for us. It's something that sometimes when you experience it, you don't realize what the business is doing to provide that. But specifically, what is it that you do and everyone in Platinum Hair Salon to make a difference, a different experience with that customer service?
Yeah. So our salon, I think we have just a super great camaraderie with the different walks of life that we've all had in our salon, age groups to where we come from. And I think that what it boils down to is we strive to make people feel good in the industry. And if we're not perfect. And so if we do screw up, we will definitely make it right with that person. If we screwed up on their hair for whatever, or however that happens, we just want to make sure that people come into the salon and make sure that they're welcome and feel comfortable, and they don't have to walk in with this expectation that they have to be somebody that they're not.
Right. You guys do a great job at that. And you talk about, sometimes maybe having a hard time with as long as you've been in business, you've got to have a couple of funny stories that stand out, or maybe things didn't go quite how you wanted. And how did you respond to that? Does anything jump out when I say that?
Yeah, I kind of have a funny story with my own self. I wrapped myself in my blow dryer cord last year. And I was blow drying a gal's hair, and I was wearing flip-flops, and the cord got underneath my flip-flop, and I yanked it thinking it wasn't under my shoe, and I totally just tripped myself.
Oh, really?
And everybody in the salon was just laughing.
Did you fall all the way down?
Oh, fell all the way down. I probably should have came see you, but I don't know if you were quite, maybe that was a couple years ago. You weren't quite running your place here yet.
Do you have a security camera? Did you catch that on video?
We did not. We should have done that. Yeah. Yeah. So, and then another story, our chairs we have a knob that people lay back in the shampoo bowl. And this lady, she's a dear friend of mine. She's she's in a wheelchair, and I accidentally left or unhooked the handle too soon, and she fell back so fast. And she'd laugh if she saw this video, because we were all just cracking up laughing, because it was just the funniest time of, she has no control of her upper body. And so anyway, it was really funny.
Stuff, you got to document that stuff, because sometimes the days can feel mundane, but stuff happens all the time.
Absolutely.
Funny stuff. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, let's get back. So you were the second truth that you told. You peed on stage. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So my stepmom at the time was part of the Helena JCs.
Okay.
And so they did this. It was actually like a magic show, and like there was other talent going on. It was kind of geared towards kids at the time. And so I was in the front row, and I wanted to be on stage so bad, right?
How old did you say you were?
I was 8.
You were 8, okay.
Yeah, so I had total control of my body, right? Well, I got up on stage, and again, I had to go to the bathroom so bad, but I wanted to be on stage and do the card trick.
Yeah.
So I was so nervous looking out into the crowd, and so I just got nervous, and I just peed on stage. And so the next show afterwards, they were dancing. It was a dance scene, and they were dancing around the puddle. And at the time, of course, I was very embarrassed, but now it's quite funny.
Did people in the audience notice?
I think the people that were in the front could see it, but then in the back row, they're like, what's going on? So at least that's what I think. I'm sure everybody saw it.
You know, I like how you celebrate that, because for some people that could be a mortifying thing that they, even though you were 8, you never want to bring up, but you got to celebrate those embarrassing moments.
Oh my gosh, really have to laugh at yourself, or life's too boring.
Absolutely. So with hair, what would you say are some misconceptions that people that don't do hair have when they think about what it takes to be a stylist?
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest challenges, and I probably speak for most hairstylists, is when somebody sees a picture on social media and maybe it's
they want to look like Justin Bieber.
They want to look, yes, or or you know, Jennifer Lopez, or somebody that has just gorgeous honey hair, and when they come in with the expectation that their hair is going to look like that when they leave the salon, that doesn't always happen. It takes a lot of time depending on what they come in with color on their hair. So I think that is, at least for me, and I could probably speak for my whole salon, the challenge that social media projects and the reality of what we can do with the hair.
So how do you manage that? Somebody comes in, they say, I want to look like Jennifer Lopez. They maybe don't have the head shape, the hair style, type, length, all of the above. Do you go with what they want, or do you try to steer them to something that you know is going to look better on them? Yep.
Either that, we know that it's going to look better, or just explain the process. If they come with, jet black hair that they've colored themselves at home for many years, it's just a process without damaging or frying their hair.
Right.
And just making sure that they know that, and making sure that they know that this is a picture, and that we will do our best, but they might not have the same texture of hair either. And so that can be a big difference on how that hair processes with color.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that makes sense.
Yeah, just be honest.
Yeah. So what about the other side of the coin? You get someone who comes in and they are indecisive, or they don't really know what they want.
Yeah.
Do you like that? Is it kind of like a blank canvas for you to be artistic, or do you prefer to have some direction from them so that you are going to have somebody leave and be happy and satisfied with their hair?
Yeah, I think that's what the beauty of this industry is I'm a person that would want some structure, want some ideas, because I don't know how they style their hair on a daily basis, or what they do shampoo wise. And so some stylists love that. Some stylists love to just have free reign and do whatever they want. I would say I'm more conservative when it comes to hair, and definitely would want more of the ideas from the clients.
Right.
Yeah.
I can imagine, having them leave and be happy has to be super high on your priority list.
Yep.
And on my way over here this morning, I was thinking about how important that is. Have you ever seen the show It's a Wonderful Life?
I have not.
Okay.
No.
Just that show teaches a concept about, we never realize the impact that we might have on somebody's life if we weren't around. So let's say that you might give someone a haircut they look amazing in. They nail a job interview because of that confidence that they have, and they look great. And later on down the road, how maybe one haircut could make a huge impact on somebody's life. And I'm sure you've probably had moments where somebody has been maybe come in with an emergency. You've been able to turn that around and give them some self-confidence back.
Absolutely.
That's got to be really rewarding.
Very much rewarding. Yeah, it feels good to have their confidence is the word I would use, to come in with maybe their shoulders shrugged down and ashamed of what their hair looks like or what they've done even, and leave with higher or a taller walk when they leave the salon.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you say what they've maybe done. That reminds me. So my dad, he really likes to cut hair. And he cut my hair when I was living in Shelby, and I did like the way he did it. But I think a lot of people think, oh, I can cut hair. It's not that hard. When I was in junior high, my older brother's 4 grades ahead of me, and it was the night before prom, and my dad thought he needed a haircut, and my brother didn't want to get a haircut. My dad talked him into it, and he cuts his hair, and it looks terrible. Mm-hmm. And he says to me, hey, go tell him that his hair looks good. So I'm just, sheepishly, oh, hey, yeah, that looks really good. And he looked at me like I was a complete idiot. But point being, it's hard. It's not easy. I mean, even a simple head of hairs, if you don't know what you're doing, it can go south pretty quick.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Whether you cut it too short or you don't know what you're doing. So you provide a great service to all your clients in this community.
Thank you.
Absolutely. What about hair care tips, things that people can do at home to keep their hair as healthy as possible?
Yeah. So I always say in the state of Montana, let alone Helena Valley, we have a lot of iron in our water.
Okay.
And so really just making sure that your hair, you're getting a good shampoo to really clarify and cleanse your hair. Mm-hmm. If you're a gal that, has a toner in your hair, you don't want to use a clarifier all the time just because it will really cleanse out that toner.
Okay.
But making sure that if you don't have a water softener, to make sure you have a good shampoo.
What's a good shampoo? What makes a shampoo good?
Yeah, so there is shampoos out there if you have colored hair that are hair care color.
Okay.
I personally love Allurum. We also sell Redken in the salon, and then there's a brand called 11 that we sell, and those are just good products that they're not full of fillers, if you will, that make a product cheaper, and they're just made with better ingredients for your overall hair.
So with shampoo, you get what you pay for?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Just like tools, you
Sure.
get what you pay for.
Right. That makes sense because, you go to a salon and you see a bottle of shampoo for, what is a bottle of shampoo? $15?
$15, $20, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you think, oh, I could go to Walmart and get this for $3,
yeah.
But it's not the same thing.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
And your hair
and a lot of times they're full of water, that
Okay.
are filled with just cheap fillers that don't really cleanse your hair. They're kind of waxy.
Okay.
And sometimes that can coat your hair when really it's doing a disservice to your hair.
Well, when you think about it, how long does a bottle of shampoo last? It lasts for quite a while.
Yeah.
So to spend a little bit of extra money on it to get better, healthier hair, it makes a ton of sense.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great. Now, you have owned your business for 7 years. You've learned a lot of business lessons, I'm sure. If somebody was moving to Helena, whether they were opening a hair salon or just a business in general, is there one or two pieces of advice that you would give somebody moving to Helena to open up a business?
Gosh, that's a great question. I think the one thing that comes to my mind is that there's room for everybody and to not feel like you're in a competition race because our town is small and word travels very fast. And if you can be kind to your, like I said, not your competition, but really your competition in a sense, to know that there's room for everybody. And that I think one of the other things is to get out there and, like you're doing, get into the community and be social and don't be a hermit and don't think that you're better than anybody because you're not.
Right. Two great pieces of advice. So let's start with the first one. What have you done to create the friendship with who could maybe be perceived as your competition versus seeing them as competition? Like, how have you navigated that?
Yeah. So one of the things that comes to my mind when COVID came and we were shut down for almost 6 weeks, we were like, what are we going to do? Right. And I kind of took the opportunity and reached out to some other salon owners on how they were navigating their salon and what they're doing with their booth rentals and just all the things that go along with the hair salon. And I feel like there's a couple gals in town, Stacy Furlick, I think is her last name, and she owns Hot Heads.
Okay.
And was just a huge influence in helping me navigate some of the questions that I, as a young salon owner, were clueless about. And one of the things was, do I charge my gals full booth rent, or, you know, do I do hair at my salon? Like, there's lots of different things that I didn't know. And there's another gal that really comes to my mind. Her name's Andy, and she owns a salon in Missoula. Her husband's a railroader, as mine is, and they just were big influences on questions that I didn't have a clue as to what to do. So, yeah.
I've been in that same position. When I moved to Helena, I reached out to a few chiropractors, and it's a little nerve-wracking because in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'm the new guy in town. I may be seen as competition, that I'm maybe going to be taking business away. How are they going to respond? My experience was largely very positive. I mean, it was all positive. Was that your experience when you reached out to other?
Absolutely.
Salons?
It was. And I think if you're not wanting to help others in owning a business, then you have no business owning a business.
Absolutely.
And so I definitely think that you're there to help and to navigate through some, questions.
Yeah, Helena's great with that. We are, like you said, it's a bigger city, but it feels like a smaller town. And I do get a really big sense of people want this community to be great and to be helping each other out. That's been my experience. I'm glad that's been yours. So if you're starting a business, talk to the other people who maybe are in your industry. Most people are going to be very open and receptive to helping you out.
Yep.
Second thing you mentioned was getting involved in the community. How have you done that?
Yeah, so I feel like I'm involved in different ways. I'm involved with an organization called the Walk to Emmaus through my parents' church at the St. Paul's Methodist Church.
Great.
I am part of the MIDA organization.
What is the Walk to Emmaus?
Yeah, Walk to Emmaus is something I just went through and worked it. I've been working them since I was in high school. It's just a women's and a men's retreat, a spiritual journey through all walks of faith that you can come. There's even been atheists that have come through the walk. And so I think that's what the beauty of it is that all different types of women and men that come through and just kind of have a spiritual journey for their own self.
Great. And sorry, I interrupted you. You were about to mention something else.
Just the MIDA organization has been huge for me. We actually have an archery bow shoot that we're putting on this weekend.
Sweet.
We, as in some of my family and whatnot. This is our 11th annual bow shoot, and some of the proceeds go to the MIDA organization. So we're excited for that. Get out and shoot some bows for the outdoorsmen and women.
Unfortunately, this episode will air after this weekend.
Yep.
But I hope you have a great turnout.
Absolutely.
And then you sing.
I do sing, yeah. So I've sang since I was a little girl, and I started with this group called Grandma Fat, who is kind of an older. They're gonna hate it when I say this, an older men's group who played a lot across the state of Montana. And kind of a long story short, I joined a couple of them, and we started a group called Fat Lip, PHATT,
cool.
LIPP. We are on Facebook, and we play a lot at breweries. We all live out in Canyon Ferry area, so we sing at like the York Bar. We sing at Schooners, which it used to be Yacht Basin out on the lake. So we just kind of get out, try to play at least 4 or 5 times in a month.
Wow.
So
when are you playing in the month of April? Let's say April.
Yeah, so I believe it's April 12th without looking at a calendar, and we are going to be at the Missouri River Brewing Company.
Okay.
We usually play from 6 to 8, and I think that's a Wednesday, so whatever that Wednesday is
awesome.
The next gig we have. So
good. Hopefully I can make that. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. I'm from East Helena, so it's kind of, I have pride in singing at the brewery there.
Yeah, great. I love the advice, Mary. Getting out and getting involved in the community, that's really what makes Helena such a great place. There's so many good people here and so many people wanting to get involved and help out. And there's lots of different opportunities to do that for whatever suits somebody's personality. And really, that's how you're able to promote your business, is by just getting to know people and that. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Great. So if somebody wanted to come to Platinum Salon, what would they do?
Yeah, so you can, if you're, first and foremost, we have a website, platinumsalon406.com.
Okay.
That just gives our pricings, our starting prices. We're all self-employed at the salon, so we all kind of run in the same price range. But and then we advise that you call the salon to make an appointment. We just, there's a couple of gals that do online booking at the salon, but for the most part, we prefer that you call the salon.
Okay.
And you can schedule that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what about with MIDA? If somebody wanted to get involved or donate some money, how would you recommend they do that?
Absolutely. So we have a website called mydiabetesalliance.org. And you can go on the website. You can donate there. We're always looking for donations. And then we're always looking for volunteers, especially for our children's camp coming up in August. I believe it's August 6th through the 12th this year. And we have medical teams too. We have non-medical teams that really just love to be involved with the kids in the type 1 diabetes community.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great. Such a good cause. I'm grateful for you for being involved in that and providing such a great experience for those who are affected with diabetes.
Yeah.
So if you have the means to donate or to share some of your time or resources, it's a great cause.
Absolutely.
Mary, thank you so much for coming on. Look forward to seeing you next time I get my hair cut.
Perfect.
And have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of the Helena Hustle podcast. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Once again, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you in the next episode of the Helena Hustle podcast.